Hello, welcome back to Earle Wellbeing Instagram Live. Lovely to have your company. I hope the sun is shining where you are. Did you have a glorious bank holiday weekend? I was in the garden. Did a little walk around actually on my Instagram if you want to have a look. Earle me, so see what I've been growing. Irises and all sorts of pretty things, foxtail lilies. It was really lovely to be outside. Nice to see you. How is everybody? Let me know how you're doing. Send me a little heart. Hi there. So today I'm really super excited because we've got a fab female founder talking all about how to choose the most perfect shade of foundation. Now, I don't know about you, but how many times have you been in a store and thought, maybe under the store lights or whatever, oh, that looks okay. You get home and you find it's too pink, it's too yellow, it's not quite right, your skin changes and the texture might not be great. And it's a minefield, isn't it? And then you end up with something that just doesn't actually quite work. Well, there's a brand new British brand called DCYPHER and they do custom blending and it is genius and it's all mail order. So it's super easy. We're going to be talking to the fab female founder, Claire, all about it. And we have a 10% exclusive discount here for our community for 1 week. Okay, so if you're watching this in real time, it's from today, Tuesday, 30th of May, up until the 6th of June. Don't miss out. It's very reasonably priced anyway for the quality, but the extra 10%, well, that's just the icing on the cake, isn't it? So first of all, I am going to see if I can get Lainey. So Lainey is from my team and she will be there as a moderator. So if you've got any questions about Earle Wellbeing for the magazine, any of that, then Lainey will be able to answer questions. Oh my gosh, everyone's doing so well. Who's this? Lisa just saying you're off work due to half term, done 100 skips, 50 squats, walked the dog and just had an omelette. Feeling fab. Thanks to you, Liz. Excellent. Get that exercise in early, followed with a bit of protein. I've got my cup of coffee with my creatine, so good for energy, muscle mass, lots and lots on Earle Wellbeing, all about that. But for now, we're going to talk about these little beauties. I want to share some secrets with you. So Claire, let's see if we can get you in the house. Not just yet. I don't see you request to join me. And then we add you. But DCYPHER, honestly, I thought it was such a clever idea. You go online to their website and you use just the camera on your phone or your iPad or your laptop or whatever to take a good picture of your skin with no makeup in daylight. And then you upload that and they send you a foundation and you choose what kind of coverage you want, whether you want it to be sheer, matte, lots of coverage depending. And if you don't like it, they tweak it. So you basically get this little shade chart that says, you can have it slightly warmer or slightly bluer or whatever. It's really, really good. These are all the different shades. So for example, you can have literally any skin tone and it will be the perfect match. And if it isn't, they tweak it until it is the perfect match. So it's foolproof. Okay, I think we have you now. So, yeah, we have got Claire Triantis, and it was a husband and wife team actually that started the company. Super clever, spotting that gap in the market. Hello.
Hello, so nice to talk to you. How are you?
Oh, I'm super well. And firstly, as one brand founder to another, congratulations.
Oh,
you guys, you're genius. I love everything about that you're doing. The personalization, the really smart, clever, sustainable packaging. It says on here, we made this just for you. And it's true because every single foundation you make for that one individual.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. Yeah, this is all about kind of breaking the model of the industry and doing things differently, doing foundation in a better way, because it's just a nightmare for consumers to find the right foundation shade in the right formula. So yeah,
in the right formula. So it's the right color in the right texture. So talk us a little bit about your background, first of all. How did you come to be doing this great brand?
Yeah, so we're a co-founder duo, myself and Adam. So we both have backgrounds kind of in the cosmetics and beauty and personal care industry. So I worked for Unilever for many, many years in consumer science, So helping the R&D teams to understand what consumers want from products and to be able to deliver that. And I think over those 9 years, I think the biggest insight is that, you know, consumers, the individual differences across consumers is absolutely enormous. And to be able to mass market a product that actually meets everybody's needs is just impossible. So, yeah. So that was
We're
my
all
insight from
so different in every way, you know,
yeah,
but especially our skin, and it's so personal. You know, foundation, I'm a big fan of foundation because it's a protective barrier on the face, and you can put good ingredients in there that protect the skin, they prevent sun damage, pigmentation, make you feel better about yourself. You know, it's an instant win, in my opinion.
It really is kind of, it's something that's so important, and it's your face as well, isn't it? It's kind of the first thing that you know, first impressions are really important. So you need to feel confident with kind of your shade and making sure that it's working for your skin. Yeah, so my background, was very much in kind of understanding individual needs. Adam, the other co-founder, he was in the ingredients industry for cosmetics. He worked for an ingredient supplier. He was trying to formulate products for big brands, and his observation from the other side was more that it's actually very difficult for brands to be able to create these personalized sort of offerings, despite it being a huge trend. And often what brands do, they go to contract manufacturers who probably have rolled out the same formulation to several brands who just stick a different label on it. So his whole idea was to do personalization better, to break this mold of kind of mass market production of cosmetics. And really the only way to properly do that is using technology. So he built this enormous sort of technology platform to be able to do it. Can you hear me okay, just to check?
I can. No, it's good. It's very clever, it's very simple, and you know, you are ahead of the game with this. So as I just explained in my intro, for anybody who missed it, you basically, you go onto the website, you upload a photo of naked skin with good light, good daylight, so that you can actually see your absolute skin tone. Then presumably you then get it your end when we've uploaded it, and you've got some clever fangled computer program that exactly matches it. And you also say what texture. So I like something that's sheer, you know, it's quite light, it doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything, but I do like a little bit of coverage, you know, to even out the skin. So you can choose the texture as well, can't you?
That's right, yeah. So you go through the skin tone scan on our website, and that uses your live camera to be able to do 3 scans of your face, and you do that in natural light, kind of facing a window. That gives you the best kind of chance of getting a really good result. Then we get that skin tone information, we get your preferences on finish and coverage as well. And then we take that and we plug that into kind of algorithms that we've built, that then basically creates a recipe that's really unique to you. So we don't have any kind of stock of shades that we keep in. Every single shade is made bespoke for you. So yeah, this cloud-based kind of algorithm then creates this recipe for you. And then the other part of it is that we have these machines that dispense very, very precise amounts of pigment, because, you know, a very small change in some of the colors that we use.
You know, I don't know whether you can see the difference. So I wanted to test you guys out, okay? I didn't want to make it easy. So I've got my first shade, which I deliberately kind of made slightly too pale, but only imperceptibly. Actually, this is going to be great in the winter. But now with the summer, I thought I just want it a little bit warmer. So I messaged you back saying, yeah, you know, totally anonymously, you know, you wouldn't have known it was me. And this is what I got in return, which is, you probably can't even see the difference on camera. It's very, very slightly warmer. And this is the one that I'm wearing at the moment. It's literally invisible on my skin. You know, you cannot see, there's no join, because it is exactly my skin tone. And I love the coverage. It's kind of medium covering, but very sheer. So I've got those 3 elements: the cover, the texture, and the coverage. I mean, it's brilliant. You never need to worry about your foundation ever again.
That's it, isn't it? It's kind of like, you know, by the time that you've got your combination of your shade, which could be tens of thousands of shades that we could make, and then you've got your finish and your coverage as well, actually, the chances that that's the only product that we ever make is quite high. So, and if you think about as well, you know, there's 8 billion people in the world, and you know, how can you make a shade range that fits all of those?
It's going to suit everybody. We're so different, aren't we? We're so different. And if you're somebody that has a hard to match skin tone, or you've got to go, you know, into town to one of those super expensive brands and then, you know, stand in a shop under different lighting thinking, you know, which one is it? You know, it just takes all the guesswork out of it. I mean, I'm, you know, really waxing lyrical about it. So you can see on here, this is my kind of unique number. You can see how, you know, totally individual it is. I really like this color. This is, you know, the best color that for me personally. If I wanted to maybe have a slightly more coverage, you know, say I was, I don't know, you know, getting some breakouts, or I just wanted something maybe for the evening that's just a little bit kind of more done, could you make this for me in a different texture?
Yeah, yeah, you can just go on, you can use your accounts that where all of your information is stored, and you can reorder it, just changing the, you know, changing the finish or the coverage or however you want it kind of tailored for you. So you can effectively have a whole range of different foundations for different needs, if that's what you would want. So yeah.
Yeah, and then slightly warm
Yeah.
it up if you want to in the summer, you know, if you
Yeah,
want to just have a bit more of a glow.
you can always contact us and we can make a manual adjustment. So if people come with requests, we can manually change the recipe, just tweak it very slightly so that it meets kind of, you know, the feedback that you give us. So
Great. And how much are they to get them done? Are they all the same price, or do they vary?
So all our foundation products are £28 with a little bit of postage.
Wow.
So yeah, we also make coverage drops, which are slightly different. They're a pure pigment product. So we just take the colours and we make the colours, and they are a much thinner consistency. They kind of come with a dropper. Don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what you can do with those for summer, it's really great because you can mix those with a moisturizer and you can basically give it a tint, or you can add a little bit on top of your foundation and blend it in to give a little extra coverage. So they're a really, really flexible products, and they're £25, those ones. So
wow. And they're your own skin tone, are they?
Yeah.
Just as drops that you can add into moisturizer to make your own tinted moisturizer. Oh my goodness. That is genius. You are so clever. I absolutely love that idea, because, you know, you're right. Sometimes you're on holiday or whatever at the weekend, don't necessarily want to put on you know, your actual foundation, but you just need a little hint of something. You know, I sometimes use like a tinted, you know, serum or something like that, but, you know, to have something that is personally the right color. And thank you very much for our discount, by the way. Really appreciate it. Anybody watching on catch up, you have until the 6th of June. Okay, so we have that LIZLOVES discount for the week. The other thing that I thought was really impressive was the speed with which you deliver. You know, I thought, oh my gosh, they're going to be ages. They've got to go away and make this whole thing and then post it. You know, it's going to be weeks. But, you know, it was less than a week, and I got my box back. It was really good.
This is kind of part of the model that we want to bring in. You know, in the past, personalized cosmetics has always been much more of a manual process. Someone has to make it for you, or they go away and you know, they take time creating it for you. But really, we want to be able to make personalization mass market so that we can produce things, you know, very quickly, but still have that personalization element. And we have a really great customer service team as well, who would just, you know, to give that human. You think with the human element is so important when you're dealing with this. You know, for, you know, if you have any, you know, requests, you know, with your foundation, we will always listen and try and help everybody to get that perfect shade that they deserve. So.
And talk about the ingredients. You know, obviously the color and the texture and the coverage. You know, what's going on there. That's part of your background as well, to make good quality formulations.
Yeah, so our formulas, they're not sort of dehydrating, they're quite creamy. We contain glycerin, which is a very underrated but fantastic humectant, which is really gonna like keep the moisture in your skin. So we have our pigments, we have the glycerin, and then we kind of use the water to make the emulsion. So it's a simple product. We don't include SPF, and that's kind of purposeful, because we don't feel like people use enough foundation. So you're supposed to have 2 fingers worth of SPF, aren't you? And you don't use that much foundation. So.
You know, if you're going out in the sun, you know, particularly mid sun, so like from 10, 11 onwards, and you're going to be exposed, you need to use a separate SPF. Not even with a moisturizer, actually. I mean, even back in the day when I was connected to the beauty company, we never put SPFs in moisturizers, because it gives you a false sense of security. But actually what I do like about foundation, and, you know, I come back to this protective element of foundation, is that you are using mineral pigments, and actually those are also protective.
Yeah. They are.
You can't claim an SPF, but I think it's sort of, you know, that they say average like sort of 8 to 10 or whatever SPF anyway, because you've got that, you know, you've got that color, that tint on your skin, which is protecting, but definitely use a separate one. I love that from comment here. Is it for mature skin? I'm 60. Yes. Well, speaking as one 60-year-old to another, I can say hand on heart, absolutely perfect, and not drying. You know, that's the other thing. A lot of foundations that cover are drying, and I get dry flaky patches. I'm eczema prone as well, so I do have to be careful. This has not dried my skin at all.
Yeah, the last thing you want is something that's gonna give that sort of flaky cakey look, isn't it? Or to crack when you smile. Ours is quite moisturizing and quite flexible, so it does work on sort of older skin as well, which is great. So it fits everybody.
It really does fit everybody. And if you're somebody younger, I can think of my girls actually, because they like, you know, both Lily and Brella. I mean, Lily has always struggled finding foundation because she's so pale. You know, she's got that real classic Celtic skin. You know, she never goes in the sun, and you know, she's not a kind of a strawberry blonde, but she's got that very, very pale colouring. And she will always go to a range and say, right, you know, what's your palest foundation? Because that's the one I'm going to need. But sometimes it's a bit too yellow or it's a bit too pink. You know, this would be absolutely ideal. Whereas Brella, because she's quarter Italian, so she's got a bit more of that Latino olivey tone to her skin. She wears very different colors, even though they're sisters. They wear very different colors, which is good because they can't, you know, swap too much of their makeup around. So, and again, she struggles because she sometimes finds foundations are a little bit too pink, and she needs to have that slightly yellowy undertone to match her.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I used to have that problem because I'm quite pale. You know, you go in a shop and it caters for the brands cater for the middle range really well, but at the ends there's just you either end up with a pale pink color or a pale yellow color, and that's not going to work. Sometimes you're doing much more neutral.
And actually, you know, there's no shade that you couldn't make, is there?
No, we can literally make
literally
any shade. We only use 4 pigments, so I can show you if you like what the pigments
I'd love to see.
Saying.
Go on.
So we have I don't know if you can see in this light. So we have a black, which is a kind of blue black, because sometimes for the darker skin tones you need kind of a bit more of a blue hue in there. We use a yellow. It's kind of like a mustard yellow, and a red, which is like a rusty coloured red, and then we just have plain white as well. So these are the 4 colours, and we can literally make any shades, anything from being very pale to being olive to being very dark.
Amazing.
We proved that because we've literally made there's just so many shades that we've made, many more than any range on the shelves. So we know that they exist and they're not being catered for. So.
Yeah. Absolutely lovely. I'm personally going to get some of your drops. I think the drops sound like an excellent idea for adding into moisturizers, or, you know, or sun cream. Actually, you know, you could tint your sun cream, couldn't you? Because a lot of the mineral sun creams are actually quite white.
Yeah.
So to take the edge off that would be a really, really nice thing.
I think you just have to be careful mixing it. You need to make sure you have that layer underneath as well, just in case. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm being asked what level of coverage I went for. I went for kind of medium coverage. Because I do have little flaky patches, but you know, actually I'm just touching my skin here. It feels really smooth. You know, it feels really hydrated, and I haven't done anything different other than, you know, use my normal regime and then foundation. But my skin feels kind of plumped with it. I guess that's the glycerine in there. And then I wanted a sheer coverage. You know, certainly for the moment. You know, I mean, I might actually invest in one that's maybe slightly thicker, maybe for the evenings, you know, when you're under artificial light in the evening, or you want just a little bit heavier makeup, you're wearing a bit more eye makeup, and your face can take a bit of heavier coverage maybe.
Yeah, we do 4 different coverages. So we do an ultra sheer one, which is very much like a tinted moisturizer. We do the sheer, we do a medium, and then we also do a full coverage foundation as well. So, you know, and there's also 3 different finishes. So you can choose from a matte finish, which has an extra mattifier added. You can have a natural finish in the middle. And also there's a radiant option as well, which has this amazing sort of optic that kind of has a sheen to it. It's not glittery as such, but it has a really nice sheen that kind of gives you that glow. So you can, you know, there's so many options for customization.
Yeah. So being asked questions about pigmentation, if somebody has areas of pigmentation, you're going to need to go for the slightly more covering option, would you say?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, pigmentation is going to need a little bit more coverage, so more overall pigment in the product to cover it. Yeah, we should be able to cover that, you know, and if not, kind of color correctors can also help, can't they, with them?
Yeah, of course.
With
Having said that, you know, I went for the sheer option, and the coverage is still good.
Yeah.
You know, it's sheer, but it's doing the job. You know, it's very clever. It's not too sheer. Sometimes you get, you know, foundations that say they're sheer, and you put them on, you think, well, actually, you haven't really done anything, because I can still see all the uneven skin tone underneath that I didn't want. You know, so you've got that sheer finish, but you have got coverage. So I would imagine that your extra coverage ones would be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
This is Yvette here. She was saying, I got the radiant finish. It was so glowy and beautiful. I love the sound of that. Love the sound of the radiant finish. And then the drops, they're one finish, are they? They're your colour, but you can then add them to whatever you wanted to.
That's it. You can then use your own moisturizers. If you have one that's more of a more of a radiant moisturizer, then you can use that to kind of add whatever finish you like. So you can use what you've already got at home on your makeup table, you know, and use this to kind of, it's just a very, very versatile product. So it's really helpful.
And actually, we're being asked questions about concealer, and you know what I've done in the past is I've got some very, very strong, highly covering makeup foundation from another brand, which I do like. It's too much to use all over my face, and I look like a doll if I used it all over my face. But I do use a little bit, you know, sort of under the eyes sometimes, or if I have a little bit breakout or whatever, or want to cover up skin tone. So I guess you could get your own skin color matched in the highest coverage formula and use that just almost like a concealer, could you, where you needed it?
Can, absolutely, yeah. It's going to be plenty good enough for most people, I should imagine. But we are working on a concealer as well, so we get these questions all the time about concealer. That's our next product that's coming out, and it's been a long while in the making, getting that formula just right. So in the next sort of couple of months, that should land. And I've been using it for a while, and I absolutely love it.
I mean, you can't beat a good concealer. When you get a concealer that doesn't cake and it's not drying, it's you know, it becomes your best friend. Interesting question here about vitiligo, which is obviously, you know, when you lose areas of pigment on your skin, I think it's considered an autoimmune issue. It's very hard, obviously, to treat if at all, but you can conceal and can cover. So I imagine that the strongest coverage could actually help take the edge off that. It would have to be the fullest coverage option, I think, for that. And we could definitely work with people who have very different areas of pigmentation on their face to be able to get the tone just right, because obviously you're going to need to match it to the right area. And we've had people in the past where we can do it using photos, so people can send photos in and we can try and work with them to get the shade absolutely right and do it more of on a service basis, because the scanner obviously is gonna have difficulty if there's very, very different areas of absolutely depigmented. How interesting, and what a great service, and what a nice encouraging thing to be able to do for somebody who's really struggling, you know, particularly if you've got vitiligo on your face. Although I have to say, I actually use now, particularly if I'm doing photos or whatever, I actually use foundation on my hands as well, backs of my hands. Little bit of a cheat. Well, you know, but I mean, hey, you know, we age, and you know, I'm very careful with my hands. I try not to get my hands in backs of my hands in the sun, but you know, I have got sun damage. And I have laser work sometimes just to get off the little kind of brown spots that appear. But using, I mean, it is mainly for photos, but also, you know, if I'm going out in the evening or whatever, and I'm just a little bit conscious that my hands, backs of my hands and arms here are not looking so great. It's a bit like using a body makeup. I remember back in the day, MAC were one of the first to bring out body makeup. And all the makeup artists I ever worked with on shoots, they would always have this MAC body makeup. I think it was, they called it number 2, their second foundation or something. And, you know, you'd apply it kind of all over if you were doing a shoot or a film and you needed, you know, your star to look absolutely, you know, immaculate. It's just before the days of auto retouch and all of that. And so I kind of got used to the fact that, you know, body makeup is actually, is a thing. And why not? If you've got a great foundation,
Yeah, there's no
you
reason
know.
why you can't use it like that. Or the other way around, you know, if you have a perfect match on your face, you don't have to use it everywhere either. You know, I often don't put it on my forehead because I just find that it doesn't, like, just generally foundation doesn't look great on my forehead. So, you know, I just apply it around here, and then basically you don't have the line.
There's no
you don't have the
line.
lens to have that
Exactly. You
perfect
can't
look. And
see.
yeah,
You can't see where your foundation ends and your skin begins.
yeah,
I mean, that is the goal, isn't
it
it?
is. Yeah,
Honestly, I'm so impressed with what you guys are doing, and I just think it's you know, I wish you every success with it. You are great disruptors. You are doing brilliant things, and we love it when a disruptor beauty brand comes up and shakes everybody up, you know, particularly the big boys. Because you guys, you know, you're a husband and wife team, you're a small independent British brand,
yeah. That's
service
right.
focused.
Everything's made in the UK. And I want to stress as well that, you know, I think people sometimes are afraid of anything that is tech based. But our process is very, very simple. It takes just 30 seconds to do your scan. Really, really, really easy. And, you know, if tech's used in the right way, you know, and it's the company or the brand is built from the tech up as opposed to being an add-on, it can really work, and it is a great asset to the beauty industry, but it has to be done properly. We've spent many, many years, you know, creating this tech platform so that it really does work for people. So yeah.
Amazing. Remind us where people can go to get information in case they missed at the beginning. Where's the best way to contact you?
Yeah, so you can contact us at help@decipher.me. That's DCYPHER. Or you can go on our website. We've got a whole load of facts on there. You can see us on social media at the handle is decipher.me, so that's DCYPHER. And yeah, you should be able to get all of your information from there. But always reach out and contact us. As I say, we've got a really great customer service team. We're very willing to chat and talk and recommend things and really make your foundation work for you. So yeah.
Fantastic. Honestly, Claire, brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for our Liz Loves discount. Super appreciate it. I look forward to watching your continued growth and success. Looking forward to the concealer.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be ordering the drops next.
Oh, I hope so.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now you have to leave us by clicking on the little white square, which is, I think, top right of your screen. Otherwise,
brilliant.
I run the
Right,
risk
I'll say goodbye then. Thank you so much for having us. This has been great. Thank you so much. Okay, take
Thanks
care.
for being with us today. Love it. Bye now. Oh my gosh, isn't that so exciting? Really, really good. As I say, when you find a new British brand that is just being built with such great customer service and such genuinely good products, I love it because it means I can so get behind it and say, this is a Liz Loves for sure. We absolutely love it. So yeah, so these are the ones that I got very, very slightly different because I had it very slightly warmed up just to test them. And you get it in this great little box, just comes through the post, letterbox size, really easy. And this, just to recap, some of the, well, it's infinite number of shades, isn't it? How many people are on the planet? You know, you could have billions of different shades. Tells you all about it, gives you a little reference number so that you know if you want to reorder or change it. And as they say, we made this just for you. So well done, guys. If you want to get your 10% off, you need to do that before the 6th of June, okay? So I am definitely going to be using my discount. Now, a couple of other things before I go where I'm also using my discount. Electrolytes. Come on, guys. We did a post this morning on Earle Wellbeing about electrolytes. Really, really important, especially as we move into warmer weather. If you're exercising a bit more, if you're having a drink in the evening and need to get up and not feel quite so meh, then electrolytes are your best friend. I am now putting this, well, kind of into virtually every glass of water that I have now. So, so good. Brilliant balance of sodium, potassium, magnesium. If you missed my live with the granddaughter of the founder of, it's called Body Bio is the company, previously only available in the States, but they've linked up with a great website called health.com. Now I have pronounced that correctly. Health, H-E-A-L-F at the end, health.com. They have given us a discount. So you have to order it through the Health website, okay? And that gives you 15% off, I think. Yeah, it does. So Liz Loves, so you go to health.com and then you look up Body Bio because that's who stocks it, okay? And in fact, it's right across the Body Bio range. And if you watched that live before, you'll have heard us talk about things like butyrate, very good for the gut and sleep. and immune system and so many things. But if you're interested in butyrate, go and take a look at this. But I highly, highly recommend this. I'm going to be stockpiling that. Something else that I really enjoyed learning more about was the curcumin with the boswellia, which is the frankincense extract, the liposomal form, 27 times more powerful than other forms, and of course combined with curcumin and boswellia. Very, very interesting in terms of inflammation, and it actually says on here joints and flexibility. So if you're somebody that's struggling with joint issues, then this could be really worth considering. And we do have, let me double check, I'm pretty sure that is 15% indeed, 15% off with Liz Loves, and that's nutrient.com. Funny spelling, L-N-E-U-T-R-I-E-N-T, nutrient. It's got the extra E, N-E-U, nutrient.com. Anyway, all the information you will find on LizEarleWellbeing.com. There's a whole section called Liz Loves. And in fact, not only is there a whole section, but we've got a whole newsletter now, because we've got so many amazing wellness brands to talk about from all areas, you know, supplements to clothes to fitness to fashion to you name it, it's all on there. Makeup, obviously. So if you want to subscribe to that, that comes out every Tuesday or Wednesday, but you need to be on it. It's a separate list. Normally the Liz Earle Wellbeing mailing list goes out on a Friday, so you may already be on that. The Liz Loves cost saving list is a different one. So head over to the website, or you can click the link in the bio that we have on Instagram, and you can sign up for that, because there are some great deals, and some of them are quite time sensitive. They just kind of come and go, so you don't want to miss out. It's a really good opportunity to stock up on the things that you love with money off. That's it. If you have not yet got the beautiful birthday issue, please make sure you do. There's a great subscription gift you get. Kind of almost free really, because you get your drops of vitality from Life Armor, which perfect, swear by them. Have those as an extra little pick me up, and you get a free issue of the magazine, and you get free P&P in the UK. So seriously, it's really worth having. This issue is just jam-packed. So many recipes, so many really, really good features. And just a quick mention, actually, one of my favorite contributors, we have so many, but one of my favorite ones, oh, there's a lovely article actually by Tess Daly revealing some of her essentials. James Earle, no relation, this lovely man, has become a regular contributor in the magazine about relationship issues, and he's got the most fantastic feature. I don't know if you've read it yet. It's called Understanding Anger. And honestly, if anger has reared its ugly head in any relationship that you've had, either coming at you or you have felt that feeling, this is a really, really important article to read. And this week on Friday for the Liz Earle Wellbeing Show podcast, James actually joins me to talk through anger management, and he is just brilliant. I love that man. He is so, so good talking us through relationships. Anyway, that is it for today. So I'm going to be back with you live on Thursday with more favorite people. The Naked Pharmacy, yeah, Kevin Levers, we love that man. He is one of our favorites, another favorite here at Liz Earle Wellbeing. He is going to be back, and we are going to be talking about metabolic gold. We're going to be talking about the metabolism, shifting weight for the summer, toning up, burger tone. I'm sure conversations around fatty liver and all of that are going to come into play. Absolutely fascinating. Pop a note in your diary. Make sure you join us. 12:30 live, 12:30 till 1 on Thursday, or of course on catch up. We do save and record all of these so that you can watch them later. Have a brilliant day. Really enjoy the sun. Get outside, get some fresh air. I'm going to do exactly that now. And I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Thanks for being with me today. Take care. Bye-bye.